Welcome to Urueña, the Villa del Libro, the town of the book, the first town of the book there was. There's more bookshops and bars here. It's in the Pueblo Bonito, Spain, and we're halfway from Madrid to Galicia. We're going to spend a week up in the north in Galicia, in Asturias and in Cantabria, but I thought we'd have a quick stop here in the yellowed depths of Castile y León before we head up to the green north of Spain. I should also say another reason we've stopped here is it's a walled town, and in Castilla, even though it's not as dramatic as where we're going, a little bit of elevation gives you a lot of view. Did you clock the name of this town?
No.
Right, come out to Villafranca del Bierzo, where I came through on the Camino de Santiago, but I had horrendous shin splints here. I remembered it was very pretty, always wanted to come back. It's also worth noticing that even though we are going to Galicia, we are passing through León, which has a wonderful wine region called Bierzo, Villafranca del Bierzo, and for lunch I had a lovely crisp glass of white Gordeo, one of the special grapes of this area. Right, that's enough mucking about in Castilla y León. Time to go to Galicia. Welcome to Coruña. First time back since 2010. It was also the first place I ever visited in Galicia. I forgot about that. So we're going to get some food, see the bits and bobs. Venga, señor. It is a thing of beauty though, isn't it?
We can have food.
The problem with Galicia is it's quite far away, but on any given day Galicia and Asturias in the north, they're kind of my favourite bits of Spain. I miss green, I miss water, and out here at the Mirador of Ferrol, you have it all. Now we're going to head down to Ferrol, which is a big shipbuilding sort of port style city, not a pretty cute little beach town, but also, claim to fame, slightly dodgy. It's where the dictator Franco was born. It's also worth noticing that Ferrol is the start of the Camino Inglés, which is part of the Camino de Santiago, where the people come from England and start here. Look, Camino sign. So as is tradition, we've come out to the Parador, because I love to have coffee in the Parador, and this one used to be some form of admiralty building. And it kind of feels like half lovely old house, half like grandparents' decor, sort of big sort of settees and sofas. Have a coffee here, stroll around. The entrance in was quite attractive, so maybe Ferrol is prettier than people give it credit for. This is the birthplace of Frankie G, Francisco, or as my teacher called him at university, El Gran Cabrón, the big asshole. Birthhouse. To Betanzos. I've always wanted to come here because it's apparently a very cute little town and they have a famous tortilla. Very soft. So the idea of the Betanzos style is it's like, you see, it's kind of almost sort of semi-cooked. It's, yeah, still gooey like a normal omelette. Kind of more eggy and less heavy. All the goodies from the local area, the Betanzos wine. It's got barrel fermenting, I think. It's quite interesting. Probably say briefly, given there are vineyards up on the hill behind me, that the grape they use here is not Albarino. It's a grape which they call Branco Legittimo, which means the legitimate white grape, which is Albarin, which is another grape they use in Leon. So there's a little fun fact for you over there. Filming this in an alcove because it's so bloody windy. So 1,000 years ago, 1st century Roman lighthouse, UNESCO World Heritage Site, really impressive, 55 meters tall, and views out over the windy Bay Me Gusta. Gallerias, which are these extended balconies that are covered so they can have an inside-outside moment. They're covered in glass, and that's why the city has the nickname the City of Glass. Very nice. It really is quite handsome, to be honest, and water really does make everywhere quite a lot nicer. I remember when I was first here, there was lots of fishermen coming in and unpacking stuff. Not today. Anyway, now we're going to head up into the little cute old town and then probably start eating and drinking again. There are two defeats of the English here. First of all, Francis Drake, hundreds of years ago, sacked the city, but he didn't. He wanted to, and he was fended off by some very angry locals, including this lady here, Maria Pita, whose husband was murdered by some English captain during the attack, and she went mental and started attacking the English, and the locals were so ferocious that the English were kicked back out. So Francis Drake failed, and then in the Napoleonic Wars, after the Spanish had floundered a little bit and the English were fighting off the Napoleonic forces, they also failed and left under John Moore, who died here. So a couple of English failures, but one which is kind of a cool, feisty Spanish lady kicking us out, the other one a kind of a noble retreat. It is quite a cute old town. It's kind of like a, well, it reminds you a little bit of Santiago de Compostela, and these kind of old wooden streets, and suddenly there's like a shoved in an ancient church. It's nice, really pretty. in Okunqueiro. What did we order? Oh, meat things. I will explain. Croquetas. And more scallops. We're drinking Ribeiro red wine, which is a Sauson Branceau blend. So here comes the food. So that's rasho, which is the garlicky fry bits of pork. You see big chunks of garlic there. And these are little steak fillets, all on a bed of yummy potatoes, as is tradition. The thing is, it's all so simple, but it all has a big punch of flavour. Now, my 100-year-old guidebooks are quite disparaging of the people of Galicia and Asturias, but mostly from a visual point of view. They are supposed to be good-natured, hard-working. They're supposed to be not the brightest, which is quite cruel. There's horrendous things said about the lady folk here, that some of them are okay up till 30, and then they turn into witches, and any possibility they were once ever ladylike is completely unimaginable. Really quite cruel stuff. But I suppose for the 100-year-old travel books, this was a very different part of Spain. This is a blending of Celtic Spain with like Sueves and Romans, all kinds of stuff. Right, day 3 in Galicia. We are in the little tiny village of Redes, which is a tiny fisherman's village. And usefully, Redes means nets. And it's a tiny, gorgeous little colourful harbourette fishing village. And this is where we're going to start our day. One thing that is quite funny about this village, which I was Googling by accident when I was looking for a car park, is the car park of the town was made for residents, as was the last few hundred metres of the roads. So a lot of people ended up going to the parking, got flashed by a camera and got fleeced of a immediate €200 fine. So everyone's like, if you want to lose money, go to this village. This village is full of con men, blah blah blah. It was a way to sort of reduce the amount of people coming to this village in the high season. We went to the right car park, the tennis club car park. No fine for us. It's very, very tiny. Very, very cute though. Okay, Redes was very cute, tiny. We leave without a fine. We just had to go down this ridiculous forest route. As is tradition, pretend you're a hobbit. And now we're gonna get back in the car and we're gonna head up the northern coast of East Coruña province, where I've never been. Obviously more pueblos, probably more churches, and probably more tapas. Welcome to our pilgrimage spot and coffee stop, San Andres de Teixido, up on some of the highest cliffs in Europe. High up on the headland, you have this incredible area where you can see these big views. This is actually also part of what's called the Ruta dos Miradoiros, the route of the viewpoints. And we thought we'd stop at this one. I'm going to run up here quickly and try and get a little view of these mega cliffs. It's really quite something. Wouldn't mind that house. Let's see what could be my perfect house. So, nice stones. Put my bed there. Have my reading room there. And every morning, Come out to one of Galicia's smallest best preserved fishing towns. Oh, Barqueiro, very cute. So I've got baked hake. Mum's got the monkfish and sauce. That's quite nice. Your tuna roll. I just knew hake was the right option.
No, it's a fish as well.
It's kind of a tomatoey fish brothy stew with a glass of Albarino. Not a bad little combo. Last stop, the waterside historic little village of Viveiro. Population 15.5 thousand, a bit bigger than the other ones. So we have here a replica of the grotto of the Immaculate Conception of Lourdes on the Avenida de Lourdes, and look at this. So many virgins. 1, 2. To dinner for our last night in Mondoñedo Dotito for some more Galician stuff. And the order of the day is going to be more shellfish and more specialities than wine. Tamborinas with lemon this time, I should say something. I think it might be the greatest dish in Galicia. Cooked, it's called what? They call it cooked ham, or boiled ham, but it's like we call it lacon with red peppers. Tastes like bacon. So this is chorizo cooked in a white wine. Come out to Mondoñedo, a town which I've only seen from the road a couple of times. Have you enjoyed that one?
What?
It's famous for its lovely Pueblo Bonito architecture, huge cathedral, and neighborhood of the mills, whatever that is. So this town is also part of the Camino del Norte, which I did a few years ago from Santander to France backwards. There are loads of pilgrims around here, and it's a huge cathedral. I don't know if we can go in or not. I've noticed the same. I mean, the Galicians give free tapa with your coffee, which is not that common. Tarte de Mondoñedo cake. It seems to be actually a little bit cabello de ángel, pumpkin maybe. All right, see what you think.
Very much.
She's got pastry on the bottom. But it tastes exactly as I thought it would. Little barrio, little neighbourhood of Los Moinhos, the mills. This is really cute. It's almost like Japan with all the little inset streams to make the mills work. This is very cute. There's just so many corners in so many villages in so many parts of Spain. They all have a unique twist. This one, water channels. I'm now walking a bit of the Camino del Norte, which I never finished. I did Santander to France. I always wanted to come back and one day do Santander to Santiago, so I can at least tick off this 600-meter chunk from my list. San Salvador Monastery. Well, I guess a lot of these places exist and have existed because of the Camino, maybe. That's why they kind of get money keeping them over. Massive lump of ecclesiasti in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, they'll be on stilts as well sometimes for the big one. They run around for the fiestas, and that's terrifying on the left. That was very nice. We're going to finish our time in Galicia with our final main stop of the day, which is a beach I've been hoping to get to forever. And if you mention beaches in Spain, everyone in Spain knows this beach, the Playa de los Catedrales, the cathedral beach. Fingers crossed the tide's out. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing beach, to be honest. Not dissimilar to a British beach. Me gusta. What's in there? What's in there? Let us find out. Very cool. Possibly dangerous. Cool. Come out to Ribadeo, which is the border with Asturias, which is there. Have a bit of lunch and bring this first region of northern Spain to a close. So we're heading for the final lunch, bring an end to the green, melancholic, Italian, bouncy, scallop-filled lands of Galicia before we head over to Asturias. Like I say, in Madrid, the days of getting a steak on your €15 menu are almost long gone. That's Galicia done. See you in Asturias.